Hey guys, I'm Danielle and this is Bookchara, and today you are watching a book haul. I do not do these very often, and I wasn't even entirely sure that I wanted to do it, so I posted a poll on my Instagram and at least 14 of you said, yes, do the thing. It was unanimous, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the thing. I have not overly researched these books. I will not be reading the synopsis. I'm just going to tell you what I know, maybe who recommended it and where I got it from. And yeah, I hope that's satisfactory. So without further ado, let's do the thing. I realize that some of my stacks are visible in this shot. Okay, so in no particular order, we will start with The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. And I heard about this one on Heather's channel. So the channel is called Bookables. And I want to say this was one of her best books of the year last year. Not 100% sure. I don't remember what this is about, but it does appear to be a book about books, which is always a winner for me. So yeah, I used one of two Book of the Month credits that I had. I'm actually taking a break from Book of the Month, but I wanted to go ahead and use my credits so that I didn't lose them. So I got this one and one other. That one other was The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan. I know absolutely nothing about this except that it was a favorite, like a member favorite for Book of the Month. So yeah, and I must have read the synopsis at the time and thought it sounded intriguing. So yeah, we're adding this one to my physical TBR. Next we have the illustrated edition of Assassin's Apprentice. This was gifted to me for my birthday by Amy at A-Star Reads. I own the illustrated edition of the third book in this trilogy, which is Assassin's Quest. So now I just need the middle book, which is Royal Assassin. So these are absolutely gorgeous, and I will open this up so you guys can see some of the illustrations. So inside the front cover here, we have a map of the 6 duchies. Love me a good map. And I just realized I need to try to make sure none of these images are spoilery. But since this is the first book, I think I might be safe. So this is super cool. This looks like potentially Fitz and I'm guessing maybe Shade, like he's sitting here maybe learning a thing or two. Gorgeous. Okay, this is what I was looking for. I think this is the Fool. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, and then I did notice that some a little further back might be a bit spoilery. So I think we'll stop there. You get the idea. They're beautiful. Next, I got the boxed set of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson series. There we go. This was given to me again for my birthday by Alicia. Thank you so much, Alicia. If you guys don't know, we are currently reading the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series with Bookchara read-alongs, which is a read-along that I host with Amy at A-Star Reads and Paige at Pages with Paige. We've been doing this for several years now, and we have an amazing little group of readers, and we love our time together. So if you'd like to join, I always put my links down in the description. One of those links is a link to the Bookchara Discord, and that is the best way to connect with us and either read what we're currently reading or just stay in the know for series that we'll be doing in the future. So little plug there, but I live for Bookchara read-alongs, so would love to have you join us. We have so far read the first book, and we'll be reading the second book in September. Next, I got The Blackbird Oracle by Deborah Harkness. This is, I want to say, book 5 in the All Souls trilogy, which is another, not trilogy, All Souls series, which is another series that we read for Bookchara. The first book being A Discovery of Witches. I don't know exactly where the story goes in this one, but it basically follows a witch who has had like her powers bound, and whatever, she falls in love with a vampire. It's a whole thing. So really enjoy these. I feel like these books are very much like an intellectual read. I really appreciate these books. Next I got Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and I got this book for my birthday from my son and his girlfriend, and I hadn't really heard of this, and then I think I saw Cassidy at Covers with Cassidy reading the sequel, and she just raved about this first book. So that's really all I need to know. I trust Cassidy's judgment. The front says hunted, hunter, destined for each other. So that's so beautiful. I'm looking forward to reading this. Okay, next I got Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. This one was one I got on Better World Books. I can tell because of the sticker on the spine. Fun fact, the stickers come off really well if you use a hairdryer and can remove any excess sticky with lemon essential oil. That's my little life hack there. So I don't know what this one's about either. You guys, I feel so bad. I just know that at the end of last year, I was looking for some holiday book recommendations, and this was one that got recommended to me. I needed a certain dollar amount to save a certain dollar amount on Better World Books. I think this entire order only cost me like $2 or $3, so highly recommend them if you haven't checked Better World Books out before. Anyway, maybe I'll get to read this Christmas season. Another one I got from Better World Books was Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I have been wanting to read this series for so long. I know tons of people love it, and I feel like I'm gonna be one of those people. I just need to like finally read the book. The next book I got is called The Keeper of Stars by Buck Turner. And this one, look how pretty this is. I am just like so obsessed. It's an entire galaxy in a bottle. And then like, oh yeah, and then like the beach kind of scene as well. So I heard about this book on Bookish First, which is a website where you can go and you can enter into raffles to win a copy of up and coming books. You have to read what they call the first look, and then you write a little review of your kind of like first impression. So, I'm not sure exactly. It was like maybe the first couple chapters, but I really enjoyed what I read of this one, and I definitely got kind of like the Notebook vibes. So, yeah, my plan, I have a little sticky note here. Read by August 21st, because they ask then, because you've received a gifted copy of this, that you read it and review it within 3 weeks of getting it. And like, they're not gonna hold you to that, but I just think that's the right thing to do. So I'm gonna be reading this very soon, and we'll have my thoughts for you, my complete thoughts, very soon. Next, next, I got a hardback copy of The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. My mom actually got this for me. I don't really know if I've talked about it in a video yet, but I read The 13th Tale last month. Yeah, I must have talked about it on my TBR game, at least a little bit. I read this in July. It was one of my books that I was supposed to be reading for my TBR game, and I didn't just love this book. I proclaimed that this is my favorite book of all time. I don't think I've ever been able to say that about a book. this is gonna go in a place of honor. The copy that I had was just, I think it was a Better World Books copy. It was some type of previously used copy, paperback copy, and I passed it on to my mom. She read it, she loved it. She passed it on to Graham, and Graham is currently reading it. So yeah, Mom was like, here, I'm gonna love on you a little bit. She knows my love language. So it does have, I think these are these called deckled edges? Where the pages are kind of like uneven, I guess, like on purpose. Oh yeah, look at that. It's just, I don't even know what you would call that. It looks cooler in person, I think. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm rambling about this book. Can I tell you what it's about? I guess I can, because I've read it. Okay, so this is about an author named Vita Winter, and a biographer. Her name's Margaret. She comes, and basically Vita wants to tell her, Vita is dying. She's at the end of her life, and she's got one more story that she wants to tell, and Margaret gets the privilege of being the biographer that gets to take down this story. That's just like, I'm barely telling you anything because I think it's better if you just don't know. I think it's better if you just trust me and pick it up. It's amazing. This is, oh, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. Next is another book that I have also read since acquiring it. And I actually read it for the second time. So the first time I read this book, I received a NetGalley ARC, an e-book copy. So this is Once More Upon a Time by Roshni Chokshi, and I trip over her name every single time. So I read the ARC, loved it. I'm like, oh my gosh, fairy tales are still being written. Like, this is like classic fairy tale, but like she's done something new with it. You know, there's like adult humor in here. It feels very, very like The Princess Bride. And I'm like, would somebody please make this into a movie? I love this so much. So yeah. Also, I wanted to mention that Shorty September is coming up, and if you need a short book, there's like leopard print shorts. That's one of the prompts. So if you need a short book, you've seen this one in the wild now. It's only 133 pages. Shout out to Bert, who is past story time. He's the brains behind Shorty September. I'll link his channel down in the comments. Also, shout out to Too Many Heathers, whom I adore, and she's co-hosting. So yeah, this is my recommendation for Shorty September. At least one of them. Sorry, I forgot to say Leanna gifted me this, and she also gifted me the Blackbird Oracle by Deborah Harkness for my birthday. So thank you, Leanna. Sorry, my brain gets busy and I forget these things. Very important things. Oh, next we have Below by Laurel Hightower. This was on my August TBR game TBR. This is a book that I heard about from Too Many Heathers. I think she read it last year for Shorty September, and it intrigued me. I have already finished this one. I only gave it 3 stars. I still think it was a fun time. Basically, this woman, and I definitely maybe picked up on some like feminist messages. This woman, she's on a road trip. She's been in a relationship with this guy that is like, ugh, you know, so controlling. I don't even think she could have like a thought for herself. And so like the entire time she's hearing like him and like what he would be telling her to be doing. Whoa. So anyway, she's heading somewhere, I think, to meet up with some friends, and she winds up witnessing a truck go off into like a ravine. She winds up thinking she's gonna like go save this guy and winds up down in the ravine. There's creatures. I need to stop. It's horror, in case I didn't mention that. So yeah, I mean, I think it was worth a read. I don't think it was like earth-shattering, but definitely enjoyable. Okay, another book I got from Better World Books. This poor guy, it's gonna need some love. It has just like, this must have been oh yeah, this was a used library book. So this is Blood Air by Emily Wenzel. And this is one that I need to be reading for my 12 Books, 12 Friends challenge, and was recommended to me by Alicia. I can't remember what it's about, but it's fantasy. I want to say it's YA fantasy. And if Alicia said it's good, it's probably good. Okay, next I think I got this one on Pango. This is Vita Nostra by Marina and Sergei Dyachenko. I heard about this one on Noelle 7 Pages channel. Noelle is she's pretty freaking cool. I like her a lot. And yeah, I mean, I like her a lot. And she was reading, like Jan Agaton, she was reading like her most favorite and like least favorite books or something to see how she liked them. You know, it's kind of like reading your booktube besties like favorites, least favorites kind of idea. Anyway, whatever she was reading made her think of this book, which was one that she had read and just really, really loved. And I want to say it was like dark academia. I'm not sure, and I'm trying to think what she even compared it to. If I think of it, I'll let you know. Anyway, I don't know. Noelle spoke highly enough about this book that I felt like I needed to get it and read it too. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. This little thing up here says a book that has the potential to become a modern classic of its genre. Oh, it is a translated book. Okay, see, we're learning things. Oh my gosh, okay. The back says a cross between Lev Grossman's The Magicians and Elizabeth Kostova's The Historian. Vita Nostra is the anti-Harry Potter you didn't know you wanted. Okay. I'm definitely intrigued. Let's see if we can't get to this one sooner rather than later. Okay, the final book on this book haul is it's Wide Sargasso Sea, and this is by Jean Rice. This was recommended to me by Heather at Too Many Heathers, and is one that I can potentially read for Shorty September, since it is only 124 pages. So I'm not sure how much to say about this one, because if you haven't read Jane Eyre, I don't know if talking about what this one is about could be a spoiler. But let's just say this is having to do with one of the characters in Jane Eyre and kind of like maybe their backstory. So it says, Jean Rice's late literary masterpiece, Wide Sargasso Sea, was inspired by Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre and is set in the lush, beguiling landscape of Jamaica in the 1830s. And then this one says, Rice took one of the works of genius of the 19th century and turned it inside out to create one of the works of genius of the 20th century. So, I'm intrigued. I really enjoyed Jane Eyre. Like, it felt like a huge accomplishment to finish it, but I really loved it. I think I gave it 5 stars. So anyway, we'll see if this makes the Shorty September cut, but the fact that I have a physical copy of it will definitely help motivate me. Um, okay, so that concludes this book haul. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if there are any of these books I should be getting to sooner rather than later. Let me know if there have been any fun books that you have hauled recently. And I'm going to see you next Saturday with my Shorty September TBR. So if you haven't already and are interested in seeing that, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification button. I will see you guys. I'll see you guys then. Bye.